Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com on Wednesday, October 26th, 2016. I'm joined here in the studio with FingerLakes1.com President Jim Sinacropi, lead news editor Josh Durso, and network administrator Jessamy Uticone. Welcome to the studio, guys.
Hi.
We're here.
Thanks for having me.
Jess, your hair looks different today.
Yes, I was going for a little bit of a lioness. This is my natural hair, but I was going to do something Halloween themed, and I just didn't have it in me. So
It's a kind of Halloween-y, right?
I went for the lioness theme.
Lions. Sure.
Anyway, in the next half hour, we'll be talking about this week's top local news at FingerLakes1.com, your best bet weekend events in the Finger Lakes, the weekend weather outlook, sports lineup, and more, including our top local photos from this past week. FingerLakes1.com was in the news on Monday, actually.
We weren't just covering it, we were in.
We were the headline.
Yes.
Yeah, so Josh, why don't you fill them in? And Monday was kind of crazy.
Yeah, we are holding next week a Senate debate for the 54th District, and all three candidates had committed and are still committed, but there was a little bit of confusion. The Finger Lakes Times reported that one of the candidates, Pam Helming, was not going to be participating or didn't know anything about it.
Which was false because at
first
we weren't sure if she was lying or...
As it turns out, though, it appears as though there was the question was posed to her in a confusing way. It was asked if she was going to be participating in the Seneca Falls debate.
Right.
And she had no idea what that was because we released a press release last week saying that it is the FingerLakes1.com debate. She is on board, though, and we did get some good coverage from WSYR last night on the
I got a
evening
clip
news.
of that. Let me play a clip of that.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
Anybody heard?
Let me play a clip of this.
Dig it.
There will be at least one broadcast debate in the race for an open state Senate seat in the Finger Lakes.
Dan Cummings says candidates in the 54th
That would be Rod
district will
Wood
square off next
and
Thursday
Carrie Lazarus.
evening in a Seneca Falls studio.
Pretty good
Just
stuff.
5 days before Election Day, the three candidates in the 54th State Senate District will take part in a live broadcast debate on FingerLakes1.com.
That's us.
Republican Pam Helming,
That is
the
us.
Canandaigua
Living-
Supervisor, Democrat
living
Keenan
live
Moore,
in the
the Town
news.
of Rose
That is not us.
Supervisor,
That's Pam
and
Helming.
Reform
Interesting-
Party candidate
interesting,
Floyd
though,
Rayburn
that,
will all be in the Seneca Falls
it's funny how
radio
quickly
ABC
something
studio
like that can sort of
Thursday,
snowball.
November 3rd at 8
and-
p.m.
Misinformation?
Yeah,
Now, the
all
54th
it takes
State
is
Senate
one
District includes all of Seneca
one
and Wayne counties
report,
and parts of
and
Cayuga,
it
Tompkins,
can snowball
Ontario,
really
and
quickly.
Monroe counties.
We had to make some frantic phone calls yesterday afternoon
Yeah.
to make sure that everyone was actually on board, and
Yeah.
Supervisor
are.
Helming's office made it very clear that
She'll be
it was just a miscommunication. That's all.
Yeah, and that's Dan Cummings. I like the way he says FingerLakes1.com.
Delivered it very well,
Did a good job. Dan Cummings.
like a seasoned pro.
I mean, WSYR to me, for as far as TV news teams go in our area, that three right there, Carrie Lazarus, Rod Wood, and Dan Cummings. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like a Mount Rushmore of upstate New York news,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the debate's on.
Next Thursday,
Helming's
8
coming.
p.m.
They're all
Everyone is
coming.
going to be here. It's going
Yeah.
to be great, and we hope
You're
everyone will
moderating.
be here. I will be moderating. Yes,
awesome.
I will be
The
holding.
gloves
them to
are
the
coming
flag.
off. Can we promote it that way?
Yeah, the gloves are going to be coming off.
The gloves are
It
coming
will
off.
be
Oh,
the
boy.
only time where all three candidates will be sitting down this entire election cycle. And I think in a lot of ways the reason why it was such big news yesterday is for that very reason.
Yeah,
All
Yeah.
three, no one's seen all three candidates next to each other yet, but
it's a big
we'll have
race.
it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Nozzolio seat, and kudos to you, Josh, for pulling it off and putting it together and moderating this debate. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of pretty cool too. That Josh is going to moderate the debate of the one time, and I think that they were all comfortable when they've been in our studio before as guests on Inside the FLX, and so I think they felt comfortable
Yeah.
with the location and the moderator, and
Yeah, I mean, for all the talk
gloves are
about
coming
how
off.
Helming has been very reserved or been avoiding these types of situations, she was the first person to commit to this when we set everything up about a month and a half ago. So
Right.
she's eager, they're eager. I think it's going to be a great night.
A lot of eagerness.
I'm
Lots
looking
of
forward to
eagerness.
it. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. So, well, let's take a look at the weather. Those of us hoping for a rebound after our recent stretch of cold, wet weather will be disappointed. Friday will be cloudy with a high in the mid-40s and a chance of morning showers and wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Saturday will be cloudy with a high in the upper 50s, but a 50% chance of rain. Then Sunday we'll see more cloudy skies and a high in the upper 50s, but there is a 60% chance of early morning showers. Things look to clear up into next week with temperatures projected to break the 60-degree mark
64
by
on Tuesday, yeah.
Wow.
And they're also saying now in the most recent forecast, since this was put together a few hours ago, is that it might push above 60 on Saturday too. But
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good
still not
update.
going to be really great. You know, it's more of the same kind of,
Yeah. Yep.
which has been cold, and it's kind of a shock to the system just walking,
Oh,
downtown to get lunch today. It's like, man, it's not even that
Better bring
cold
your
yet,
jacket.
but it feels
I know.
cold. Yeah,
I
definitely.
couldn't even take my jacket off when I came in here. I'm still cold.
It's chilly in here too.
Well, the early Halloween forecast calls for partly sunny skies and a high in the mid-50s. As always, check out the latest local forecast and live radar at the local weather center at fingerlakes1.com. I'm hoping that it's at least dry. If it's chilly on Halloween night,
Trick or treat forecast. Now, would you trick or treat on Sunday as opposed to Monday, or definitely Monday?
Monday. Yep, Monday.
The smart kids go twice.
Right.
Cover more area, get more candy.
2 different locations.
Do they do it 2 different locations still? Does Waterloo do it different night than Geneva?
Oh,
Geneva's
I-
Monday.
I don't know. There's a Halloween parade, I think, this weekend in Seneca Falls.
There's one in Geneva too.
Yeah.
Saturday.
When did trick-or-treating get so organized? What happened to it just being you go out and get
It was a
candy and go
free-for-all.
home?
Maybe
when I
it
was
was when I was a
right?
kid. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, we used to just go out. And
Yeah.
Maybe there was a specific time. I'm not sure.
Just went door to door and asked for candy.
Yeah. Trick or treat. All right, Josh, in addition to all the debate news, what are our top local stories at fingerlakes1.com?
Well, we've got some shopping news. Five Below is coming to Auburn. Officials announced on Tuesday that Five Below, the national discount chain, would be coming to Auburn at the former Pet Depot location on Grand Ave. Construction is expected to take another 2 months, but the grand opening is expected to be held in the first quarter 2017. Five Below is seen as an up-and-coming chain with 440 stores nationally. The nearest locations for us here in the middle of the Finger Lakes, Destiny, USA, and in Victor.
Yeah. I love that store.
Who doesn't? That's what
My
I said.
kids
Me, I
like
had told you.
$5.
Jessamy
never
knows
heard of
nothing
it.
about it,
I had
which
never
I
heard
find
of
of it, so
stunning.
I thought you were talking about weather. Five Below in Auburn.
Five
next
Below
week.
in Auburn. No, not quite. We're not there yet.
So you should vlog your first Five Below shopping
I
trip.
probably will. I'll live tweet it or whatever.
There you go.
Periscope it, snap
yeah,
it.
Periscope
Yeah,
it.
there
That's
we
the
go.
best.
Second piece of news that came in this week, Macedon property at the center of the Sandra Solly disappearance, reinvestigated. Solly, disappeared at 38 years old. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. In Macedon in 1994, state police searched the property on Monday, centering around a pond, which was previously owned by Solly's ex-husband. That was why they couldn't search it before. A change in ownership allowed for investigators to properly canvass the entire area. Troopers said they weren't searching for anything in particular, and nothing led them to the property, but the opportunity to search and properly canvass the area was something they'd wanted to do since the investigation launched. No leads, no real concrete information. A sad story in 1994, and still a sad story now because the family knows absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And the third piece of not much happy news this week. Victor Town Board held a second public hearing on their budget this week. Victor residents sounded off over spending and a lapse in oversight, which led to a 113% tax levy increase. The $13 million budget will be approved by the board on November 13th. Residents called for the resignation of the board, including Supervisor Jack Marin, who said at the hearing that he took full responsibility for the error. Financial auditors and the former financial director failed to identify the spend down of several reserve funds, which ultimately caused the increase. This is something that's becoming a little more common as municipalities move to avoid raising taxes for extended periods of time. They avoid going over the state mandated cap, and what happens is you get this snowball effect where when taxes go up, they go up dramatically. Or you take reserve funds. Seneca County has done this. They've used over $4 million in the last year to bridge that gap. And a similar sort of situation, John Shepard is going to be in next week to talk to us a little bit about that and how municipalities really have to avoid this reserve exodus and just gradually raise taxes slowly, so you avoid the 113%
or cut
tax
services
increase. At some point, though, what always winds up being said by the people who are making these decisions is that when you get to a point like that, where you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, literally, there isn't enough you can cut without just essentially axing half of the community.
Now, I thought you said this was going to be bad news. I don't live in Victor.
Well, it's bad news for those who live in Seneca County also, because we are heading in that direction.
Now, the thing that's shocking to me about that is that Victor is successful. Like when people talk about, being able to keep a stable tax base, they talk about attracting business and creating revenue through those businesses. Nobody has more business than Victor.
It's not. It isn't developing as quickly as it was before, and that's one of the. When Jack Marin was on Inside the FLX over the summer, he talked about the slowdown of the Eastview corridor, and now they're looking at some special taxes for those big business taxpayers like Eastview and some of the other ones on that 96 run in through Victor. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, we'll have the latest on that and all of these stories as they continue to develop.
If they can't get it right in Victor, I mean, what help does anybody else have?
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
All the resources and
It's definitely a challenge. The takeaway from it is that you really do have to slowly raise taxes. You have to, if spending isn't going to slow, if the caps aren't going to be exceeded occasionally, you really have to look at a gradual increase.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get hit with this huge.
Right, and nobody wants
113%.
Nobody wants their taxes to double or more than double.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's not very Christmassy.
No, that isn't very Christmassy.
Not Christmas.
No.
Let's talk about something more exciting, like the great events coming up this weekend, Jessica.
There are some
We always
great
look forward to that.
events coming up this weekend. There are spooky tales and wandering spirits that will come alive this October at Sonnenberg Gardens. Haunted Garden Stroll on Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m.
Ooh.
It's a haunted garden stroll. It's a nighttime haunted half-mile stroll through Sonnenberg's gardens, where participants will see weird sights and lurking supernatural denizens.
Wow.
While spooky visitations and haunting sights will be about the darkened garden paths, it is a family-friendly event.
Wouldn't have thought so.
No, you wouldn't. Not with all those spooky denizens. Admission for the haunted garden stroll is $7 per person and is free to children under 5. So that is family friendly. Children under 5, if they can handle the spookiness, anyone can. Also, Saturday, take your friends for the inaugural Rochester Regional Health Eastern Region Tastings Showcase at an outdoor heated tent event at the Granger Homestead and Carriage Museum in beautiful downtown Canandaigua from 4 to 7 p.m. The event will feature a variety of wine, craft brew, and spirit tastings, as well as samplings of local cuisine. Admission for that is $35 and is not free for children.
Love cuisine.
Yeah?
That sounded great till the $35 part.
Yeah.
But I bet you there's a lot of great stuff there. I just was when you were reading that, I was thinking, oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. And $35, that's $70 a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they have some really, really good local cuisine. I mean, I love some Canada restaurants.
It probably is. It's probably fabulous. Probably well worth it.
Yeah.
Just leave the wife at
Hopefully.
home. I say.
Hopefully.
Just in time for Halloween, which apparently everything is on this list, an evening of old-fashioned radio mystery shows performed live on stage at the Bristol Valley Theater in Naples on Friday at 7 p.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. That's called a matinee.
That is what it is.
Call 585-374-9032 for tickets or purchase them online at bvtnaples.org. bvtnaples.org. Careful what you think.
Anybody here ever been to the Bristol Valley Theater?
No.
I don't think so.
No, me neither, but it's a nice, it looks like a nice place. I've been by it. I
Yeah.
have never been in it.
I feel like I've been
Well,
by
this
it
time
as
of
well.
year, it's so gorgeous there. So
Naples
just
is
the
pretty
trip
awesome
there is,
this time of year.
So make
Yeah.
make a date to go do this.
mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just
Make a
like
date.
Josh in the Finger Lakes Beer Fest last week.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That
that's
he
right.
said to you that he was actually going to go.
Definitely going to go because
but
he's not
he
like me.
didn't go. He didn't go.
Couldn't. The rain, the wind,
Yeah, you couldn't
the
do it.
cold weather.
Excuses.
That it wasn't happening. It
Well,
wasn't
Josh,
happening.
maybe you
Excuses.
can get in the Halloween spirit at the New York Wine and Culinary Center in Canandaigua and concoct some spooky, tasty cupcakes. Learn from our expert pastry chef instructor how to create delicious and decadent cupcakes from scratch.
Probably not.
You're not going to do this?
don't
Once
think so.
they're baked, Josh, you decorate with perfection under the watchful eye of the center's instructor. That's all right. Then you can take them home and share with family and friends. This program here costs $55 and runs from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday. Learn more at nywcc.com.
My friend
Okay.
actually did a cupcake class there.
Were they spooky and tasty?
They weren't spooky.
Were they expertly decorated?
Had to have been.
Were they decadent?
She did a good job, but she makes cupcakes. She has her own business, Cupcake Alley. So she was just
Oh, nice plug.
yeah. I know. No, she said it was fun, but I love my own icing and my own cupcakes
Yeah.
better. So,
Heck
but
yeah.
if you don't know anything, then
There's a
probably
lot
be
of cool
fun
things
to go do.
at
Yeah, if
the
you're just a
culinary
novice.
center,
Yeah.
like that, cooking classes and stuff. That everybody that's ever done one says they love it.
If you're just
Yeah.
getting your start in the cupcake game, this $55 course is for you.
It'd be fun.
Also, don't forget you can always enjoy the fall sky rides at Bristol Mountain.
Yeah. Have anybody here ever done that?
No.
And I hear great things about that too. Fall sky rides. You take the
Just
ski
take the
lift.
What is it?
But it's
Above
a
the
fall
foliage of
above
Bristol
the
Mountain.
foliage.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that makes sense. I bet that's beautiful too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You'd probably win that. And as always, there's upcoming events on our local community calendar at, as Dan Cummings says, fingerlakes1.com.
There's a lot of events on our
Awesome.
calendar.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
This is an eventful time of year.
Yes.
It is. There's always a lot going on.
Good
What
use
about
of the word event.
sports, Jim?
Okay, let's look at sports. We got the New England Patriots coming to New Era Stadium in Buffalo to take on the Bills at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Bills hope to avoid a 2-game winning streak, or losing streak, after they
Yes.
lost last week at Miami. The game will be on CBS. The Syracuse Orange football team, the up-and-coming Syracuse Orange football team, is on a bye.
That's exciting news.
The Cornell Big Red will host Princeton at Shokoff Field in Ithaca on Saturday at 12:30. The 6-1 Hobart Statesmen will be in Worcester, Mass. on Saturday at noon to take on WPI. And the 4-3 Ithaca Bombers will be at St. John Fisher for a 1 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Sectional play continues for a select few area high school football teams in the Class A semifinals. Canandaigua faces top seed Greece Athena at 5 o'clock on Friday at Salem Stadium in Rochester. I don't know if it's called Salem Stadium anymore, but you all know the place I'm talking about. I think it might be called Rhino Stadium now. But nonetheless, on Saturday in a Class C semifinal, East Rochester Gananda will face Bath at Caledonia Mumford at 1 o'clock. In Class B, Palmac takes on Hornell at 4 o'clock at Salem Stadium. And in what I would call the game of the week, in the Class D semifinals, it will be Red Jacket versus Clyde Savannah at 4 o'clock at Honeoye Falls, Lima. Those two squadrons have butted heads quite a bit over the past few years in sectional play. Quite a rivalry been developed.
Game of the week.
Uh-oh.
On Sunday in the Class AA semifinal, top seed and defending state champ Victor will face McQuaid at 1 o'clock at Salins, and that's a pretty marquee matchup too.
Yeah.
So we'll have all the scores throughout the weekend at fingerlakes1.com. And hey, the NBA season kicks off tonight. And I
Right.
thought it would be interesting to see if any of you know how many former Syracuse Orange basketball players will be on opening night rosters tonight. Of course, you have it all there on your paper,
I do know
so
the answer.
I'll
I
just
could count, but I wouldn't guess.
I'll read them to you.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony, of course, with the Knicks. Wesley Johnson with the Clippers. Jeremy Grant with the 76ers. Deion Waiters with Miami Heat. Arinze Onuaku, signed by Orlando Magic, so good for Arinze. Malachi Richardson, the first-round draft pick last June, is with the Kings. Michael Carter-Williams with the Chicago Bulls. Michael Benajay, second-round draft pick, with the Pistons. Raheem Christmas caught on with the Pacers. Tyler Ennis recently got traded to Houston. And Chris McCullough, remember Chris McCullough? He's with the Brooklyn Nets. So you might not remember him because he played like 8 or 9 games and got hurt and then went pro. But he's with the Nets on their opening night roster.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's 11.
That's a lot.
Former Orange
Yep,
players.
let's go Orange. And coming up not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, Upstate Orange podcast is back, and then we really get into the whole winter basketball
Hunker down for
swing
winter.
of things. And also our high school basketball schedule is almost complete. It's been tough, but it's almost complete. We'll reveal that soon.
That's exciting. It's
Big
so
reveal.
exciting to follow what's going on. High school sports in the area. All right, well, let's hop into our top local photos this week.
Let's do it.
All right. Bill Heck.
Yep.
Is
Bill
the
Heck.
T silent? Okay. Took a plane ride over the Finger Lakes last week and sent us some incredible photos.
We're going to see a few from them, and I love these things. And then the fact
so
that it
cool.
was right during the peak of the fall foliage season. Some of these are great. They get progressively better too, I think. So enjoy. Hold on.
Awesome. Well, this was
Buckle
the
up.
view high above the Dresden power plant on Seneca Lake.
Mm-hmm.
This is an aerial view high above Ovid on the eastern shore of Seneca Lake.
Isn't that pretty cool?
So pretty. This was the view over Great Gully and Union Springs on the eastern shore of Cayuga Lake.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Those people better take their docks out. You're going to have trouble coming up.
It is so gorgeous just to see the ground underneath the water, too.
The next
It's so
two
neat.
are the best.
All right, an aerial view of the village of Penyan and the
that's a good
north
one.
end
Wow.
of Cayuga Lake.
That's
You
a
can
boss
see the-
shot right there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that really is nice. And you can see the to the lower left is the village, and there's the football field surrounded by
Yeah.
the track. And yeah, it's
cool.
Cayuga Lake is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But is it awesome as Canandaigua Lake?
Let's find out.
Well, and the view from above Canandaigua Lake looking north, right here.
That's awesome. That's my
So
favorite one.
Beautiful.
It's a big hill to the right, too, you don't realize, from this angle.
Yeah.
That's the south end of Canandaigua Lake looking north. So that he's flying right above Woodhull right there, I believe.
Gosh, it's so gorgeous.
So pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Absolutely. Also this week, this photo from Nancy Jacobs of a beautiful barn on Gardner Road in Wayland on Friday afternoon.
Got a lot of barn photos this time of year. I love them. The old barns are something about them.
Yep. All right, after heavy rain in the Finger Lakes, the water is flowing once again at Taganic Falls, just in time for a beautiful fall scene captured by Rachel Burkholder.
Up until about a week ago, there was no water coming
Yeah.
down those falls. Now it's raging.
We took a family hike about 3 weeks ago, and there was nothing.
Really?
It's
Nothing.
amazing how it can change.
No.
Now, if you go to our site and to our photo gallery, you can see a full version of that. It had to be kind of cropped funny to fit the screen resolution for the show. But it's a really, really nice picture. Really
That's
nice
amazing.
picture.
Look at
by
the
Rachel.
power behind that water. Chilly 34 degrees greeted the sunrise on Monday morning on South Gannett Hill Road in South Bristol in another photo by Nancy Jacobs. That's beautiful. Love that.
Nice work, Nancy.
Mike Sargent photographed this stunning autumn landscape of the foliage Monday morning at Mendon Ponds Park.
I really like that. When they come in, you see them for the first time, you're like, whoa. And this was one of them. I was like, whoa, that's like Field and Stream magazine worthy,
It's a well
right?
composed photo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have every color right there. It's so pretty. All right. And finally, from Kathy Content, filtered sunlight down the tracks on Arcadia Zurich Norris Road in the town of Arcadia on Sunday afternoon. That is so pretty. It looks like a card.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It looks like a promo for a Lifetime movie.
Right.
Inspirational poster.
It does.
With white text that says, "When life gives you lemons, whatever. Walk down the railroad track."
Hang on, baby.
Exactly.
Hang on. What's the one with the cat?
The cat, yeah. Hang in there.
Hang in there.
Aw, beautiful. Well, great photos, everyone. And if you'd like to share your local photos from across the region, click on the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right-hand side of our homepage here at FingerLakes1.com. There's a good chance you'll see your photo in next week's show. Jim, what are our network highlights?
This week, what you gotta watch is Our Finger Lakes History with Walt Gable, where he does about an hour on haunted, spooky, strange but true tales and paranormal things in the Finger Lakes.
In and around the Finger Lakes, yeah.
It's wildly entertaining.
It is, too.
It really is. I really recommend it.
Thing.
And last night we had Seneca Falls Town Council candidates debate in studio. 2 of them backed out the night before, so there's only 2 of the 4 candidates, but it was still pretty interesting for residents of Seneca Falls to watch. And what else is going on? We had a regular rotation of shows, including a new drag racing show called The Final Round Podcast with Chris Marquardt that debuted last Thursday night. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
For this week.
Next week, more stuff, including the big debate we talked about off the top on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, as Dan Cummings would say, on FingerLakes1.com.
Awesome. Well, we have a few minutes, so shall we discuss Halloween?
Sure.
Yeah.
First of all, who is dressing up? Raise your hand.
I have a party to go to on Friday that I'll be dressing up.
So you raise your hand. Jessica, you dressing up for Halloween?
I'm not.
I can't believe it. I would
not?
assume that you always dressed up.
I don't know. I just don't get all hyped up about Halloween. I don't
Me
know
either,
why.
but
I'm not a
going
big
to
fan.
party where it's required.
Some
so.
people
I'm
love
a
it.
Christmas
Yeah,
girl.
give me Christmas.
You dress
Yep.
up for
Give me
Christmas?
Flag Day.
Christmas costume?
Yes, of course they do.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, Halloween as a child was fun because you get candy, and
Right.
I know it's fun for my kids, but I have boys, and they're just, I don't know, I'm such a girly girl, I guess, and they're both, what are they, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
this
Grim
year.
Reaper?
Yeah, I didn't want either of them to be, because
Double
the
death.
same costume that they chose was the same costume that scared my oldest to death and ruined his Halloween, like 4 or 5 years ago.
He's claimed it.
So I said, no, you can't. You're going to scare your little cousin, you know?
He's claimed
And
it.
he said, no, I won't. And Chad said, Jess, let them pick whatever they want. So I said, okay, fine, pick
Grim
what you
Reaper.
want. And then the little one said he wanted the same costume. And Chad said, no, you can't have the same costume. And I said,
What's good for
you
the
said
goose
let
is
them
not
choose
good for the
whatever they
gander.
want.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander, if that applies.
Well, they both chose it.
What
so.
are you dressing up as then for the party? Do you know yet?
Bert, the chimney sweep.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
From Sound of Music.
No.
From Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Mary
My
Poppins,
wife
right.
is going to be,
Mary Poppins?
no, the bird lady.
Mary Tyler Moore?
The lady who sings about Feed the Birds. No, she's going to be Mary Poppins, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. I
Not the
love
homeless bird lady.
That makes sense.
Fun.
Feed the birds.
Hey, we don't have so much time left anymore,
All
Jess,
right.
so
All right.
take us out of here.
Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of FLX Weekly. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy our show, please share and tell your friends. We'll be back live next Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 for another edition of FLX Weekly. Enjoy the last weekend of October and have a happy Halloween on Monday. We'll see you next